President Muhammadu Buhari received Sudanese envoy, pledges Nigeria's assistance in achieving political stability in South Sudan.
Expanding employment, engagement, possibilities for young persons.
Former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, advocates constructive engagement of youths for national development.
We urge the community not to panic. We're on top of this matter.
Federal government allays fears on rumored volcanic eruption in Plateau, Abuja. And the political space gets busier with party primaries across the country. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News with me, Muhammad Kudu Abubakar in Abuja. Hengino John Adams is in Lagos and Suleiman Abdullahi Regachku is in Kaduna. Nigeria has pledged to give necessary support and assistance to South Sudan towards achieving desired political and economic stability. President Muhammadu Buhari made the pledge while receiving Mr. Ezekiel Gatkuth, a special envoy of the South Sudanese President Salva Kiir Mayardit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari noted that Nigeria and South Sudan have a lot in common as regards developmental aspirations. He said although even for Nigeria, it has not been smooth sailing all the way, but things are now much better. And since the troubled country wants to share from Nigeria's experience, the federal government will support where it can towards achieving stability. The president, however, advised the leaders of South Sudan to keep making sacrifices so that the enabling environment can be created, stressing that stability should always be the #1 priority. As he puts it, you cannot manage a country efficiently without first stabilizing it. President Buhari said for the economy to grow, South Sudan must also provide jobs for the people, check corruption, and ensure that national resources are jealously guarded. The South Sudanese presidential envoy, Mr. Gatkuth, who is also his country's petroleum minister, said President Muhammadu Buhari is widely admired across the continent for his role in fighting corruption, noting that it was the reason the African Union made him a champion of the anti-corruption crusade. He said South Sudan is putting its house in order, but needs assistance from Nigeria in transforming the nation's security, achieving constitutional reforms, and enhancing infrastructural development. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Vice President Professor Yomi Shibajo says the federal government is committed to unleashing the potentials of private sector and entrepreneurship using micro, small, and medium enterprises. The Vice President stated this at the launch of the 19th edition of the National Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Clinic in Enugu. Ijoma Uweke has the story.
Over the years in Nigeria, micro, small, medium enterprise has played a vital role in the overall economic growth of the country. It has also contributed significantly towards improving capacity building, standard of living, and productivity. This initiative, Professor Oshibajo said, is aimed at encouraging micro, small, and medium enterprise achieve sustainable growth and development. He said it creates opportunity for business owners to register their business at a reduced cost, as the federal government has opened a special window of 90 days to register business with 5,000 naira.
The federal government is fully committed to supporting states, regardless of political or ethnic affiliations, and this is why we have provided close to 2 trillion in fiscal support for states since 2016. This is in order to mitigate the impact of dwindling oil revenue caused by the fall in oil prices which we experienced.
Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, while commending this initiative by the federal government, pointed out that the state government has introduced similar programs to ensure that small business owners develop their various businesses to fast-track all-round economic growth in the state.
We must commend our great leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for the vision behind the conception of this national MSME clinic, which is another laudable addition to the numerous people-oriented initiatives of the federal government.
The program is in partnership with Enugu State Government and the federal government. In Enugu, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
Expansion of the political space, affirmative action, as well as long-span development and economic empowerment have been identified as key towards actively engaging youths and channeling their resources towards nation building. Former Head of State General Yakubu Gowon stated this while delivering the inaugural lecture to participants of the course 27 of the National Defense College in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
To consolidate the present and contribute
The lecture,
to
which
shaping
centered on
the
youth
future
and
of
national
Nigeria.
security strategic options, sought to identify youth demography, education and youth empowerment program as part of challenges militating against optimal utilization of the potentials yet to be harnessed for national development. Change of ideas and practices with a view towards channeling the strength of the youth to national growth and addressing youth restiveness, which contributes to insecurity, becomes imperative.
Expanding employment, engagement, possibilities for young persons.
I believe the inaugural lecture has acquainted us with strategic action to engage the youth in nation building.
The college has been seized under its mandate to interrogate into the myriad of issues and concerns on national security.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense, Sudan Ali, conducted tree planting, foundation laying, and inaugurated projects at the permanent site of the National Defense College in Abuja. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The Federal Executive Council meeting scheduled to take place on Wednesday, October the 3rd, 2018, has been postponed. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says ongoing political activities, particularly party primaries, in which some members of the Council are deeply involved in various states of the Federation, informed the postponement of the Federal Executive Council meeting. Meanwhile, members of the newly constituted Nigerian National Defense Policy Committee 2017 have been advised to work diligently to reposition Nigeria's security sector for improved performance across the country. Minister of Defense Mansur Muhammad Ali stated this at the inauguration of the committee in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports that the approved 2017 National Defense Policy will enable Nigeria address the various security challenges such as terrorism, militancy, kidnapping, and other crimes towards helping the country attain the requisite peace and stability for national development.
Security challenges, especially the current security situation in the country, necessitated the long overdue review of the policy document, which was subsequently approved by Mr. President, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, in November 2017.
Once again, Honorable Minister, I thank you for finding us very worthy of this assignment, and I assure you that we shall not fail. Thank you.
The terms of reference of the committee include evolving programs and projects that will be in line with the policy thrusts of the security architecture of Nigeria. The Nigerian Air Force has again pledged to be on top of its game through continuous display of resilience and professionalism in the discharge of its constitutional role of defending the nation's airspace and territorial integrity. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar reaffirmed this at a tactical conference for Nigerian Air Force pilots. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
It was a convergence of the Nigerian Air Force pilots and crew members who participated in the aerial display and flight past to mark the 58th independence anniversary of the country. Commending the courage, resilience and dexterity of the NAV pilots despite the unfortunate mishap, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar called for more professionalism.
That we are doing an excellent job. We are saving lives of many people, some of whom you will never get to even know. that it was an account of your effort and commitment and diligence that they are today living, helpless people in communities. So please let us take heart, let us pray for the soul of the departed, and let us continue to pray that we continue to have successful operations in all units in the Air Force.
The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to place prominence on personnel welfare to boost the morale of the officers, airmen and women to enhance effective discharge of their duties. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The attainment of optimum health is absolutely necessary in the achievement of the Nigerian Armed Forces goal, especially in the face of contemporary challenges. This was the focus at the training of military and paramilitary personnel on disease, outbreak and investigation management. Adebola Brooksland Sunday has details.
Constitutionally, the Nigerian Armed Forces has the responsibility to defend Nigeria from external aggression, maintain the country's territorial integrity, security of its borders, and to restore order when called upon to do so by the President.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
these 40 participants, comprising of medical doctors, laboratory scientists, and other health personnel, are being trained on how to respond to disease outbreak, both in the barracks and other assigned areas of responsibilities.
The array of topics lined up, I have no doubt that you will all richly benefit from this training.
The health status of troops remain a critical index of combat efficiency and readiness.
Now you have bombs, bullets, and bacteria, if you like, with chemical. So the battle space has changed.
The residential training will last for 5 days.
The take-home from here is that infectious disease knows no bound, do not require entry visa, and can affect anybody irrespective of race or age. And as such, a concerted effort is needed to prevent, detect, and promptly respond to outbreak of diseases in the country. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Bello Dembozo, has condemned the resurgence of violent crises in Plateau State and assures of President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to put an end to violent crises in Plateau and other parts of the country. A statement signed by his press secretary, Isemen Osagboro, indicates that the minister has directed the Nigeria Police Force and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps to urgently map out strategies to curtail the situation and maintain adequate security visibility in the rural communities of Plateau State. The minister also commiserates with the government and people of Plateau State over the incident and urged the people to refrain from reprisal attacks, as perpetrators of the dastardly acts will not go unpunished. Time to take our first break. We have more reports when we return. Don't go away.
Hello, Niger.
It's a beautiful day.
And now it's time for some amazing music.
Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
Where is it?
What are you searching for?
With Glow Yakata, for every recharge, they'll give you 22 times the amount to call all the networks.
What? So if I load 100 Naira, they will give me 2,200 Naira?
Exactly! And that's not all. They are also giving up to 6 gigabytes of data every month for 6 whole months.
Wow! That's incredible!
Yes!
Are you sure? 22 times on every recharge?
Yup.
Found it! Found it! That's it!
Glow Yakata. Get up to 6 gigabytes of data every month for 6 months and 2,200 Naira bonus for every 100 Naira recharge. The call all networks where talkers and browsers live.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bye.
Hello?
One day, I go any store and say I want everything.
Jenny. Auntie, please, I need a loan.
One day, anything I want.
Hurry up.
Get it times 2. Someday, I'll be living.
Hello?
Carry me alone.
Clean that up. Clean that up.
Because I don't get the money, you downgrade me.
Your order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow a business? I have good news for you. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria, financing sustainable growth.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Thank you for remaining with NTA Network News. As the curtain falls on the 58th Independence Day celebrations, Nigerians have again been reminded of the need to focus on what will unite them rather than on differences that could lead to disaffection. At a gala night organized by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo described Nigeria as a gifted country with talents that must be harnessed to national development. SEDA's correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The theme of the 58th Independence Day celebrations is harnessing our diversity for national development. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigerians across the globe are known for greatness. The Vice President also speaks of the people's determination to succeed.
If you see somebody reading a book on how to become self-confident, know that is not a Nigerian. We are born self-confident. The reason why we're so optimistic is because we know that we're the best. We know that we're going to excel. It may seem like it's taken a while, and there are many problems, but every one of the over 1,000 days that I have been vice president for, I grow stronger in my complete confidence that we're going to be the envy of the whole world in a few short years. Well, you might say that that is optimistic. Why not? I'm a Nigerian. Happy Independence Day. God bless you all.
Secretary to Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, used the occasion to reiterate government's commitment to transforming the country for the better.
This government is resolute in its resolve to pursue vigorously its programs in order to transform this country, provide the enablers to ensure that Nigerians achieve their dreams and live life abundantly.
Also at the occasion, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo flagged off the Touch of Unity for the 19th National Sports Festival 2018.
We are one nation, one country, put together by God Almighty, and we should love each other, work together to uplift this great nation.
A change, we have been seeing a glass as half empty. We have to begin to see our glass as half full.
So we just need to come together and let our diversity be our strength.
I'm particularly grateful to members of the Federal Executive Council and my colleagues, permanent secretaries, for your tremendous support throughout the planning and execution of the 2018 Independence Anniversary celebrations.
East, West, and South, tribes, languages, religious people, and religious perceptions. Lord, we pray, unite us together.
night brings to an end the week-long activities organized by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation in commemoration of the 58th Independence from the banquet hall of the State House. Jide Onifade, NT News.
A special program on the 58th Independence Gala Night will be aired at 10:05 tonight after the network news. All NTA stations are advised to remain with the network service for the special program. In a bold response to the ethnic and religious agitations that sometimes came up in the country, an initiative tagged Anizza, a visual art project aimed at promoting unity among Nigerians, especially young citizens, has been launched by the Vice President in Abuja. Gufan Shaji reports that this is part of activities marking Nigeria's 58th independence anniversary.
Anizza, themed around unity, togetherness, and a concept of a new tribe in this photo exhibition, captures the history of our heroes' past, showcasing through photography the bonds of unity and oneness that we share as Nigeria. It is a collaboration between the federal government, represented by the media team in the presidency, and the Ministry of Information and Culture, as well as several private promoters and artists drawn from the entire art community.
The largest indigenous languages we have in Nigeria, that's the Hausa, Igbo, and the Yoruba, meaning that we can actually come together as a country to form greater things.
Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo described the exhibition as a tribute to the idea of working in unity, particularly the deliberate attempt to engage younger Nigerians on the issue of developing national unity.
To build a new Nigeria, we need a new tribe, one tribe, of men and women of all faiths, of all tribes, of all ethnicities, committed to a country run on high values, the high values of integrity, of hard work, of justice, and of love of country. A tribe of men and women who are prepared to make the sacrifices and exercise the self-constraints that is crucial to building a healthy society, and who are prepared to stick together, to fight injustice, to fight corruption, to insist on the rule of law, even when our friends are the receiving end.
Through this photo exhibition is expected to be showcased across the 36 states of the country. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
To political matters now, National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Oshomole, has expressed optimism that the governing party will emerge more united, stronger and formidable ahead of the 2019 general elections after the ongoing primaries. Speaking to State House correspondents after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari behind closed doors, the APC national chairman described the party's primaries being held across the country as a standard of reference.
It can only be better. We are a structured organization. We are governed by rules, and these are rules that represent the contract, amongst and between members of the All Progressive Congress. Nobody can hold APC to ransom. Our president is leading by example, by subjecting himself not to fake petitions, subjecting himself to the dictates of APC ordinary members in the most remotest village where we have APC member. With such a leadership, we don't need to look for role models in terms of going forward, what we need to do better. So I think APC will get stronger because our members are now having renewed confidence that they matter.
Adams Oshomole, who announced the APC's rejection of the Imo State governorship primaries, confirmed that the National Working Committee of the party monitored the primary in Lagos, contrary to insinuations in some quarters.
Everything that's been done is done under the control and supervision and directions of the NWC. Our democracy has to grow and move on. We must keep innovating, we must keep changing, we must keep digitalizing so that over time, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can grow to a level that Nigerians really have a sense of ownership of the democratic process.
And as the National Assembly reconvenes from recess next week, Mr. Oshomole maintains his position that minority rule cannot be accepted in the parliament. It is the second day of the All Progressives Congress governorship primaries, and more standard bearers for the 2019 governorship elections have emerged. Kehinde Olaleye compiled the results from across the country.
Barrister Abubakar is declared as the winner of Bauchi State gubernatorial primary election.
That was the Chairman Electoral Committee APC governorship primaries in Bauchi State, declaring the incumbent governor, Mohammed Abubakar, winner of the APC gubernatorial primary election in the state. The case was not the same in Kwara State, as the scheduled primaries for today did not hold. Chairman APC Media and Publicity in Kwara State gave reasons for the shift.
In NWC, things need to be positioned, and they are also working around the clock to ensure that we have an itch-free exercise. Other offices and schedule for holding those primaries are still in position.
While in Kebbi State, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu emerged the party's flag bearer, as all the 3,818 delegates from the 21 local government areas of the state affirmed their support for the governor. After a series of consultation, Emmanuel Jime emerged the consensus governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Benue State. Great Ogburu also emerged the APC governorship flag bearer in Delta State with 3,292 votes. Kehinde Olaleye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the results of the People's Democratic Party governorship primaries election in Borno State indicates that former Minister of State Power, Mohammed Wakil, has emerged winner. He beats two other contestants. In a related development, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Bayero Nafada, has won the Gombe State PDP governorship ticket for the 2019 election. He secured 1,104 votes to beat 12 other contestants in the rescheduled elections. And in Imo State, former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Emeka Ihedioha, has emerged winner of the PDP governorship primary with a total vote of 1,723 to beat his closest contestant, Simon Ayang. As Nigeria heading towards general elections, political parties are becoming more engaged as they espouse their manifestos and the difference they can make for the nation. In one of such endeavors, Grassroots Political Party of Nigeria unveiled its presidential flag bearer in a grand rally in Abuja and hit with ideas of how to make Nigeria a greater nation. Hamis Rogo was at the rally and now reports.
When Grassroots Political Party of Nigeria plans to unveil its presidential flag bearer, it chooses a motor park in Abuja. In actual fact, the party unveils its presidential flag bearer ahead of the general elections. He is a young man, Davidson Isibo Ahimen, who strides confidently to the podium and told his supporters that they are bringing new values and new principles of democracy to the Nigerian political space.
Our great party has a divine mandate to rebuild our great nation on the foundations of righteousness, morality, peace, justice, and prosperity.
Grassroots Political Party has a catchphrase, solution to the nation. It feels that Nigeria's greatness is still indexed in potentials, and they are providing the needed leadership that will harness these potentials for greatness. In Abuja, Mohammed Hamis Rogo, NTA News.
Still on politics, a former member of the House of Representatives, Emmanuel Bello, has emerged SDP governorship candidate in Adamawa State. Yusuf Jika reports.
Shortly after voting, counting and collation of the Congress, Chairman SDP Gubernatorial Electoral Committee, Chris Njoku, declared Emmanuel Bello as the party's flag bearer after polling 634 votes out of 783. The gubernatorial candidate of the party, Emmanuel Bello, commended the high level of maturity exhibited by delegates and promised them better days ahead for the betterment of all. He said if voted into power, he will ensure good governance and all-inclusive administration through giving much priority on building critical infrastructure, youth empowerment, and revitalization of agriculture.
As I accept your nomination today, I pledge before God and man that I will not betray your trust and goodwill. Be elected as governor of Adamawa State.
State Chairman Social Democratic Party John Mover said SDP stand the test of the present predicaments of the state and promised to improve on the lives of people. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Let's now join Hingino in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Hingino. Over to you.
Thank you, Kudu, and welcome to Lagos. The APC governorship primary in Lagos State took yet another turn this afternoon when the result of the direct primaries earlier held across the state was set aside by a member of the National Working Committee, Clement Ebiri, who is the chairman of the Lagos State APC primaries. He said the election did not follow laid-down procedure. Ken Egbeluge was at the press conference in Lagos.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
This was the counting as recorded earlier in the day, but in a swift reaction, the member of the National Working Committee and chairman of the Lagos State APC primaries, Clement Ibre, set aside the earlier result on the grounds that laid-down procedure was not followed in the conduct of the primaries.
As early as 8 o'clock, we gave them an appointment. And at that meeting, we all discussed some of these modalities and asked them to bring names of people that from both side parties, agents, so that we could use for this exercise. That's what I'm now telling you, that we received from one party a list about just an hour ago. Fantastic. And at one point, they brought a list for 7 local governments out of 20. Later on, they came in about 5 hours later. They brought a list for just 11. Even the other 2 local governments have not been provided up to this moment. And do you blame me? Would you have expected us to take 7 from one person and 20 from the other one? No. Would you expect us to take 18 from one and then 20 from the other? No. This is all about fairness. This is about equity.
He thereafter ordered a repeat of the primaries in the 20 local government areas of the state. He, however, urged party members to disregard reports of celebration by some party members in social media. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
Another fire accident attributed to a petrol leakage from a tanker has destroyed 7 vehicles in Lagos. The incident occurred near Ojo Barracks on the Lagos-Badagry Express Road. Paul Omukago reports that no life was lost.
Kazim Alabi left home with his space bus for the usual hustle for his daily bread early Tuesday. Moments later, what happened to him was something he never bargained for, as his vehicle was trapped in the inferno that gutted 6 other vehicles. Unlike other motorists and eyewitnesses who spoke on the incident, he was too devastated to speak on camera.
At 4 a.m., I stood there. Then everywhere was smelling for fuel. So I told my driver, please don't pass this place. You have to pass the other road there. Immediately we get to under bridge, it's still explode.
Every day, vehicle fell down. Go to Yanoba. Last night, they picked up a tanker. They raised a tanker that fell. Before the daybreak, another container has already fallen down there again.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, IBA unit of Lagos State, intervened at about 7 a.m. to clear the wreckage on the road.
Tanker driving down the bad portion of the road and trying to maneuver. There was the PMS spillage over the road there. Fortunately, the tanker left unhurt. His identity is unknown.
Broken down vehicles like these ones between the Barak and Yanoba axis of the road, motorists say, are partly responsible for frequent accidents on the road.
Immediate repair of Okokomaigo section, Yanoba, Vokes, Barracks, Abulado are what motorists are suggesting as a way out of the frequent accident on this section of the road. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Nobody can't wake me for death. As my matter be, it be like he say, person die, person God can't wake him. Now so Buhari can't wake me from death. But I not get something when they go give you unless thank you. I did change to make farm. Then he help me house. The house when I did before, he dey link. Before I born 5 pikin. You know, I no get food when I go give them. That's why I share them. But now my pikin they near me. Sunday with me now. No be like before. I happy. I thank you well. I no see am, but God go carry my I go meet her where I dey.
Welcome back. For business news, let's join Amina Nujaim.
The Independence Day celebration offers Nigeria and her citizens opportunity to take stock of the country's journey to nationhood in different sectors. Nigeria's first professor of capital market, Uche Owaleke, feels the country's economy has recorded a checkered history, but the increase in foreign reserves, enabling environment for local and foreign investment, improved exchange rate, and drop in inflation are some indicators of growth that cannot be ignored. Professor Owaleke suggested ways to addressing concerns of fears of recession lurking around the corner.
The economy is no more in a recession. Recall too that inflation rate before now used to be very high. In 2017, January, it was as high as 18.72%. Today we are just talking about 11.2, so that's also an improvement. So implementation of the capital component of the 2018 budget, will go a long way in, rescuing the economy.
The equities market closed trading Tuesday on a negative note as the Nigerian Stock Exchange OSHA index appreciated by 0.17% to close at 32,711.65 basis point. This is against a 0.01% appreciation recorded previously. Its year-to-date returns currently stands at minus 14.46%. Fort Oil led 15 gainers. This is against 17 losers, topped by AG Leventis at the end of the day's session, an unimproved performance when compared with the previous outlook. That wraps up business news. I am Amina Nujaim.
The Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property has arrested 2 whistleblowers for allegedly misleading the panel. The panel is reported to have received false information from the suspects against Mr. Emmanuel Mbaka, Managing Director, Platinum Mortgage Bank. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji reports.
In their bid to get money, 37-year-old Prince Jeff Ove and 39-year-old Mohammed Sanusi are likely to end up in jail. They allegedly informed the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property under oath that one Emmanuel Mbaka, a real estate developer and managing director, Platinum Mortgage Bank, looted and stashed huge sums of money in his Abuja home, prompting operatives of the panel to act, only to find out that it was false accusation.
When we went there, he told me that the spirit has told him that there's money in the house, so that we should give him a little time to walk over it.
Did you make any effort to verify the information given to you before you?
I only asked him if it is 100% sure that it's true. He gave me assurance. That was how I make the effort.
For every information, every intelligence we receive, we are duty bound to investigate it. If we investigate and we find it to be untrue, we will do as we are doing now. We apologize to you.
Spokesperson of the panel, Lucy Ann Laha, apologized to Mr. Emmanuel Mbaka on behalf of the panel and said the suspects would be prosecuted. The panel explains that the policy is meant to encourage Nigerians to assist anti-corruption agencies with credible information and not to assassinate the character of people or witch hunt them. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring safety of deposits in the nation's financial sector to enhance overall financial inclusion. At the 13th edition of the Abuja International Trade Fair, the corporation also expressed its determination to complement other regulators in providing support to agro-based small and medium enterprises. Leah Katumba Batunde has the report.
The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation is the nation's risk minimizer. It has been working with the Central Bank of Nigeria for effective supervision of banks and timely resolution of distressed financial institutions. At this fair, the NDIC took its financial inclusion campaign to the people, disclosing that 40.1 million Nigerians are outside formal financial system. With rapid improvement in its procedures, the NDIC says as of December 2017, it paid out the sum of 11.5 billion naira to depositors, creditors, shareholders, and other stakeholders of closed financial institutions.
The milestone achievement of the corporation in 2017 was the declaration of 100% and final liquidation dividends to depositors of the defunct Eagle and Financial Merchant Banks in liquidation.
Riding on the theme for this year, the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry is seeking to accelerate economic growth rates through strategic partnership.
By bolstering depositors' confidence in the financial system, in the stability of the system, deposit insurance may lead to a deeper financial system which will inevitably contribute to higher economic growth rates.
The corporation says it is intensifying its debt recovery drive and advised Nigerians to ensure they trade with only deposit money banks covered by it. The awareness saw invitees participate in a raffle draw and tour of the NDIC pavilion. In Abuja, I'm Lekatun Babatunde, NTA News.
We now take you to Kaduna, where Suleiman is standing by for more reports on NTA Network News. What the latest, Suleiman?
Kudu, and a warm welcome to Kaduna. All Progressives Congress APC in Jigawa State has earned commendation over what stakeholders described as peaceful and credible governorship primary election held in recent time. They were speaking shortly after Governor Muhammad Badaru Abubakar was declared winner of the governorship primary in the state. Ibrahim Sani has the details.
Perhaps whatever success was recorded during the just concluded APC governorship primary election in Jigawa has direct bearing with proper coordination, adequate preparations, as well as the synergy between stakeholders that earn the process commendation.
You can see how the delegates are happy and calm, and everybody is voting, and this is quite interesting.
One may not be wrong to attribute the credibility of the exercise with the conduct of the coordinators, whose commitment and doggedness in complying with all electoral laws led to the greater outcome, as attested to by both delegates and the key players.
People are happy, it's orderly, people are casting their votes, and the system is very transparent.
We have gotten the cooperation of all stakeholders, the party at the local level, the contestants and their agents, and then the panel that was sent to Abuja and the local organizing committee.
INEC was also present and impressed by the conduct.
INEC as an authority of election, we are here to supervise the conduct of these primaries.
8 candidates are aspiring for senatorial seats under the umbrella of All Progressives Congress, APC. From Duse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
A group of youths in Kaduna State has resolved to support the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, pledging 2 million votes for the president in the 2019 general elections. The youths made this known at an APC stakeholders forum in Kaduna. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Forum brought together young professionals and emerging leaders to break barriers against youth in leadership in Nigeria, with a view to bringing positive change. The group of young minds commended the Not Too Young to Run initiative, appealing for more opportunities in governance.
Youth leadership barriers are back, and they include institutional barriers, such as cultural discrimination against women.
Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai says the APC government will continue to ensure that credible and patriotic young Nigerians get access to political power for fresh ideas to move the nation forward. The governor at the forum inaugurated APC Youth's Mobilization Platform tagged APC Lungu, a grassroots program and a website to engage electorate and government activities. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
And with that report, it's back to you, Kudu, for more on the network news. Good evening.
Thank you, Suleiman. A federal government delegation responding to distress call occasioned by suspected inflammable substances in the Mpape area of Abuja has advised residents to remain calm. Mayor Ogidi reports that the volcanic eruption-like incident is coming few weeks after an earth tremor that caused panic.
Mpape is in the news again, and it is for another environmental issue. This densely populated residential area of the Federal Capital Territory was thrown into panic in early September this year when earth tremor occurred. The area then bid farewell to September with the crash of the Nigerian Air Force jets. 5 days later, Mpape is confronted with another natural occurrence: suspected inflammable substances emitting from the cliff of the hills.
Around 5 p.m. in the evening, we discovered that, yesterday, we discovered that smoke is coming out from the place, very whitish.
You begin to postulate a volcanic eruption because it looks very much like a rock type we call obsidian, black, glassy. You understand? But this is not the kind of environment where you see volcanic eruption.
Panic was setting in as some fear it could be volcanic, which made to promptly draw the attention of the federal government.
They've taken samples, they'll go analyze the samples. It's after that we'll be able to tell you exactly what it is.
Government will make sure that the lives and properties of residents is not at risk at all.
So, this area will be cordoned off by security agencies for now, pending the conclusion of investigations. Mayor Ogidi, NT News.
Sport is next after this timeout.
Nigeria at 58 and the journey so far on NTA Tuesday Live this week. The challenges and prospects with those who have seen it all. Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. every Tuesday promises to be educative and informative. Don't miss it.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three put
You are welcome, sir.
as usual. Yeah. I was.
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have. You don't have.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mobo to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
For highlights of news from other parts of the globe, here is Ilyasu Aliakobo.
Glad to have you join us on this segment of the news. Libya has closed the only functioning airport in the capital Tripoli, again after rockets were fired in its direction, days after fight had resumed following an earlier shutdown. Mathiga Airport, a former AA base used for commercial flights, rival armed groups based in and outside the city have been fighting over territory and resources in the OPEC oil producer since 2011. The number of people known to have died in Indonesia in Friday's earthquake and tsunami has risen to over 1,347. Disaster response officials say the death toll jumped on Tuesday from previous confirmed figure of 844. The 7.5 magnitude quake struck just off the central island of Sulawesi, setting off a tsunami that engulfed the coastal city of Palu. Police are guarding shops against looters as people desperately search for food, fuel and water. Over 60,000 people are so far been displaced. And from U.S. comes a report that U.S. First Lady Melania Trump arriving Ghana's capital Accra in solo trip that will see her visit to 4 African countries. The tour will focus on promoting healthcare and education programs run by U.S. foreign aid organization USAID. That's it on this segment. The news continues. My name is Ilyasu Ali Yakubu.
Sports now. Chinese international golfer Shi Hu has emerged winner of the 58th Independence Golf Tournament in Abuja. And Team Nigeria departs for Youth Olympic Games in Argentina. This and more on our sports update with Kene Emawedike.
Ji Xu emerged the overall winner of the 2018 Independence Golf Tournament, which took place at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja. The handicap 26 Chinese played a total gross of 93 with a net